Here we go. All right, we're live.
Oh, are we live in Lab Coat Agents?
We are, dude. Where's your hat?
Oh, you didn't put a hat on me. I don't know how to put hats on. I don't know how to put silly hats on. Hey,
Hey, put your hat on.
oh, hey,
Yeah.
post the link. Post that link at the bottom of that. Bottom of that thread from before.
All right. So for everybody joining us, we're going to be talking about the things we'll be doing to succeed in real estate for 2017. I thought that Nick and I and David, we're still waiting for David, would talk about what we're going to do so that other people can see how we're succeeding. And obviously chime in and comment and let us know what you think.
Well, I just want to say that we meant to go Facebook Live, but we had a little, of course, we had some technical difficulties and couldn't get our you-know-what together to do that.
It didn't work.
So we'll have to work on that later. So we're just doing YouTube Live anyway. Hey, guys, if you want to play along, just jump into the live broadcast and ask your questions and or comment underneath this thread on the Facebook page. But we are actually, live and want to talk to you guys. I think what we want to talk about is, oh, someone just said hello. Who said howdy?
I said howdy.
Okay, cool. So listen, Tristan, it's 2017, right?
Yep.
2017. What are you gonna do this year to take Tristan and Associates to another level? What are you gonna focus on? Because what did Jim Wahlberg said? He said, there's no goals. It's only being committed, right? You got to be committed to what you want to do. I mean, you can't reach those goals unless there's commitment there, right?
That's right, man. I've got an outline of what I'm going to do. I want to start off by mentioning some tools that I'll be using, because I think as great as agents are, we do need tools. We do need something to put in our clients, like a CRM. We do need tools like Expressing to be able to call expireds. And for those of us that door knock, what materials do we use? For those of us that buy online leads, where are the best leads coming from? So with that said, one thing that I'm adding in a really big way this year is send out cards. And a lot of people are asking me, well, how the hell are you adding send out cards coming from? So what I'm doing here is this other one. There, that's better.
There you go.
For some reason, it was playing in the background.
That's weird.
I created a campaign on send out cards for expired listings, and I've separated expired listings into listings that want to list in the next year or so, listings that want to list in the next 6 months, and then really urgent ones that want to list in the next 1 month to 3 months. And so it's a campaign where it starts off by giving them brownies, and then letter, or card in this case. And so I'm being in their face with beautiful cards, and also by phone and in person. So I'm adding that. I just started. I finished the campaigns during Christmas. I know I shared a couple with you.
Yeah, you did,
Nick. And so I think that adding the card, because people don't usually receive cards like that, is going to work. I'm already seeing the difference, because I had one person call me back on $5.5 million. Just to call me back to say, just to call me back to say thank you for the brownies a day after.
That's awesome.
I was like, $5.5 million, and it was here in Westlake. I was like, what? Off of a brownies? At that point, I was like, okay, we need to do this for everybody. So I created a campaign.
Wants brownies. Give them the brownies.
Brownies, dude. And then past client campaign. We've created campaigns for people that are thinking of selling, that you've spoken to and that are thinking of going that way. Now, I'm not sending this to anybody. I'm not sending this to everybody that just comes around and says, yeah, I want to sell. I've got to pre-qualify them, because it does cost me about $30 per campaign.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad. Right? So we're going to add
$30 per campaign per person?
Per person. Yeah.
So how many people are on that campaign?
So far, I've got 7 people, because I just started.
Okay. So
I'm looking to between 15 people to 20 people a month on this.
So you call those people first and talk to them before you put them on the campaign?
Yeah, I called them first. Like another example, I was calling somebody. I was circle prospecting using Mojo Dialer, and I found one person. I said, "Hey, look, we just listed a home down the street from yours." And he says, "Oh yeah, my wife wants to sell, but I don't want to sell." I'm like, "Oh, that's funny." We talked. 15 minutes later, we connected. I stopped by their home. Stopped by the next day. The wife was there, and I said, "Hey, Kathleen, I spoke to Ronald, and he said that you were thinking of selling, and he wants to make you happy and sell the home, but he doesn't really want to sell." She laughed. She let me in. She's like, "Hey, come and sit down into the living room." I'm like, "What?" So I'm sitting down in the living room. He takes a tour of the whole home, and she says, "So what do you think it's worth?" I'm like, "Let me check." So
yeah,
I put her on a send out card. I called her the next day, gave her the value. They were really happy. And then they called me back 5 days later because they got brownies. I was like, "Yeah, baby."
Was that the $5 million house?
No, this is 1.7. This is 1.7.
Oh yeah, well it was just a $1.7 million listing. Come on, you can do better than that.
I know, man. So that's one thing that I'm doing. How about you? We'll take turns.
Hey, I see David. He can't jump on. You want to give him the link?
Yeah, I'll give him the link right now while you talk. Shoot.
So what I'm going to start doing, a lot of you guys know that I was on my mother's team, the Baldwin Dream Team, for about 10 years. And so recently I decided to go out on my own. And so far, so good. We have just over $1 million under contract for this month. So not so bad to kick off my new team with a new year. And we just brought on a couple new listings. And so I was thinking to myself, I really want to hone in on the community that I live in and that I focus on and that I grew up in. So fortunately enough for me, I have quite a few friends that own local businesses in town. So we're going to be focusing a lot on making some community videos. Just because video is it, man. Video is the way to go now. And, the other day I just got a phone call from a buyer from Brooklyn who was looking up houses for sale in Montclair, and he came across my Montclair community video that I filmed a couple of years back. We have about 8,000 views on that. So he's getting pre-approved and coming out here to Montclair to buy a house in the next few months. And that's all because he was looking through YouTube and came across my video, and I was like, I need to do more of these.
Wait, just random?
Yeah, just randomly, like houses in Montclair for sale, and my video popped up. And
wow.
So I'm like, let me take advantage of the fact that I have friends that own these local businesses, and let me put them in the spotlight, and then I'll promote their videos, and then they'll promote the videos as well because it's showcasing their small business, and I'm the realtor who's involved and who's hosting it, right? I mean, so I want to have more community outreach, and I want to get more referral business because I want to kind of like build that new brand for myself. Oh, let's call that guy Nick who did that video for the store or for that yoga studio. So my friend owns a store, another friend owns a yoga studio, another friend owns a photography studio, all in the same town. So we're gonna do January, February, and March, like a series of 3 videos, and just really push those out there hard into cyberspace. So community videos is what we're going to really focus on. We've got a nice team. I'm going to feature everybody. I actually just started using Lion Desk. I just got it up and running the other day.
Okay.
And
they have video. They have the video capability with the CRM. Are you using that, like, to message people too?
I haven't used that yet. But the other day, I think it might have been New Year's Eve. I was just like, my wife let me escape for a couple minutes to do a little bit of work. And I just started texting some Realtor.com leads that had come in over the last several days. And the text capability on Lion Desk was pretty fantastic. And
yeah, dude, look, I use Commissions Inc. and I use Team Leads, both CRMs for different things. And I've tried texting on Commissions Inc. and it's good, but Lion Desk has the best texting feature I've seen from all the CRMs, and I use Follow Up Boss too. So I love the Lion Desk texting feature.
I got your Happy New Year text.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I saw.
Yeah,
It.
so
I laughed.
I unsubscribed immediately. I unsubscribed immediately when that came in.
Oh,
But
that's why.
so yeah, community videos. I really want to focus more on direct mail, and like you said, send out cards.
No,
And
what do you mean by like direct mail? What are you looking to focus on in direct mail?
so, you know what I really like about. So I've been using listing power tools, and what I really like, and what a lot of my sellers have liked, is that a lot of their stuff isn't agent centric. It's
Okay.
property centric. And so when you hey, David just jumped on.
Where's David?
What's up, David?
Oh, there you are, bro. What's up?
When you focus on the property and not yourself. Hey, David, I think you can turn your volume down just a little bit for the feedback. Or is that you, Tristan?
Do you have another screen? No, not me. I shut that one down. Do you have another screen open with YouTube going on in the background?
I'll turn them off.
So I think people love that listing power tools is property centric and not agent centric. So I've been using those a lot more. We're capturing some good information from sellers in the neighborhood. I've been farming the same community via mail that I have via Facebook. And so now we're starting to get some traction on that. But basically for 2017, referrals is going to be like my main goal, like through community involvement and the send out cards program. I really feel it adds like a more personal touch.
I think if you add, because that's awesome, dude. But if you add those community videos, like I remember one time you were going to do that ice cream shop close to your. Start doing add that part to the community videos on Facebook and YouTube. Just one a month would be sick.
Yeah, no, it'd be sick. That's definitely what we want to try to get into.
I did a few last year. I think 4, and I started late. So I think I want to do one a month this year. Start picking out different places I want to visit in my community, and have my son record me with my iPhone.
Yeah, that's cool too. We're also doing videos for every single listing, no matter what the price point.
Who are you using for video for your listings? Because that could get a little expensive, right?
So it's actually not that expensive. So my photographer does the photos and video. So it's about $200 for a video and about $100 for photo. So it's really not that much, $300 total. But
no, that's really good.
You know, it's not that bad. And I think it'll just help my YouTube presence along with the community videos and the property videos. The two go hand in hand. Like, oh, okay, so this guy's a realtor and he's doing these community videos as well. You know, so I think that the two go hand in hand. We just want to be really video heavy. I started doing the Matterport, but I don't really feel it was very effective. You know, like I feel there's too much that goes into it with the glasses and I don't know, to really get the full effect.
It depends on the price point too.
Yeah, they need to make it a little more accessible. But
All right, question for David. David, what's one thing you're going to focus on for 2017 to elevate your business?
That's a great question. I think one thing I'm focusing on is to be more aware of decisions that I'm making as they come along. So I think just being more self-aware of how I make decisions, why I make the decisions the way I do. So I think last year I kind of had a couple ups and downs in regards to being aware of decisions that I was making and not knowing how I was coming about making those decisions. And so I think it's being more aware of what I do, how I do it is definitely on the priority list, number one, as far as making sure I get onto the right path right away out of January 1.
Nice, dude. So do you have any specific examples as to something that you made a decision on that helped you, that you want to continue to do?
I think one of the things that I'm going to stress is basically finishing all the books that I start. You know, I love to read. I get a lot of great advice from the group as far as the books that we should read. So, hey, I'm all for learning and trying to get what everybody else is doing and, to be successful. But sometimes I'll go halfway into the book or I'll skip around chapter to chapter. And I think I need to be more focused in regards to making sure that I start and finish the book from start to finish and not just pick and choose what I think is important to me.
You know what? That's a really good point. I think we can all relate with you there. I start some books that I never finish.
I need to read, man. I bought my wife a Nook, like a new Nook from Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
And I need to read more. It's just you know what it is? After a long day, like reading is the furthest from my mind. Like I just want to like close my eyes, like honestly. So reading, I think time blocking for reading is really important. I think that's something I need to start doing for this year too.
All right, somebody had asked a question here too. Here's a question. What does, no, not that one. Door knocking. There's a door knocking question. I'm trying to look for it here. Ah, here it is. Can you discuss good door knocking strategies?
Oh, I have a good one. You want to hear it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I walk up to the door and I lift up my hand and I hit it against the door like this.
That's not a good one. I don't
know.
Like that one. That's terrible. You know what?
That's a bad one? Okay.
I'm going to answer this one then. The first thing I did when I started in the business was I door knocked. That was the very, very first thing I did when I got my license. Yeah. And so I have some great door knocking strategies. The best one is you've got to have something to give out to those people that are opening their door. And that's just for a distraction, because for me, it was just about giving them something so that I'm able to talk to them and engage with them as they're reaching out to take whatever I'm giving them. Regardless of what it is, most of the time it's comparables or things that are happening in the community, sometimes information about you, depending on how many times you've gone to that neighborhood. For me, it was always easy. It was comparables in the area. I would always hand those out. And I would say, hey, look, these are some properties that have sold in the area. Take a look. There's one that's close to yours. I would always hand it out and give it to them. And then when I hand it out to them, they're like, oh, we're not selling. Well, you know what? I'm just wanting to know if you know of anybody thinking of moving into the neighborhood, because there are some homes in the area. And I want to make sure that we've got some good people here in the neighborhood. And they're like, oh, well, you know what? I don't know of anybody. I don't know of any. Well, how about you? Have you thought about moving anytime soon? Die. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's funny. Ha, 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 ha. Everybody says that. Your neighbor just told me the same thing. Where'd you move from? And then they tell you where they moved from. How long have you been here? And then you just start that. If they tell you, yeah, we're thinking of moving in. So then at that point, I would put them on a campaign. I would get their email address, and now I would add them to a campaign where they're getting a card every 2 months, or they're getting something in the mail every 2 months, because they want to be able to see you often. And you want to make sure that they're getting something by email as well. Anything you want to add to that, David?
No, that's a great suggestion as far as, making sure that you come with some value. The only thing I'd probably want to add is, I use send out cards like you do, and it sounds like you're starting to use them more and more often. So yeah. I use send out cards when I do after my door knocking. So if I have a hot lead, I took a picture of their house or property, I will send them, a send out card with a gift or without a gift, depending on what we talked about. Obviously the brownies are outstanding and they love that. But sometimes, I don't want to send them brownies. I'll send them something else. So yeah, using send out cards is extremely valuable. Also partnering up with other local businesses in the area. So if you're going to be door knocking, a pizza shop, a veterinarian, local would love to combine your brand with their brand as well. So it's always good to kind of, like you mentioned comps, but also say, hey, are you familiar with a local vet? Are you familiar with a local pizza shop, et cetera?
Hey, David, I think before you jumped on, that was one of my one of the things I really want to focus on this year is partnering with some local businesses, doing some community videos for them, getting the word out, about their business and vice versa. If you show them the reach that you're capable of getting them, on Facebook, they'll gladly partner with you and they'll see the benefit.
Yeah, I think I caught the tail end of that. I thought that was a great idea. And I think what other business would love to tap into your network just like you like to tap into their network? So, I mean, if you're creating a free video for them, they're going to share it all day long if it's a good quality video. So it's good to know that, if you are putting out quality stuff, that is going to be in their news feed that's going to be promoting it. Your feed is good, but you want it on their feed.
Totally.
Very true, guys. So, Nick, what else are you doing this year, man, that's different?
So lately I've been doing something a little bit different for my listing consultations. And I posted
your wife? That's the difference?
What?
You're bringing your wife.
I do bring my wife. And so one time she couldn't come with me. I was so bummed out. I don't think I got the listing. I think my wife's converting the listings for me.
Your wife's the closer.
Oh, I was the closer. Listen, she smiles and you sign on the dotted line. There's nothing you can do. But I was gonna say that there's been 3 things that have really been working for me, and I posted in the group earlier about shiny objects and how we all need to focus on what's important. It's not necessarily buying more things to look, these shiny objects aren't going to get us business, and we still have to get the business for ourselves. So I've really narrowed it down to a couple really impressive aspects that I show the client. What are you laughing for? What are you laughing for? What's so funny? You laughing at me?
I haven't done anything.
So, all right. I narrowed it down to 3 things. Why are you laughing? What is so funny?
Okay, so when you said that, you brought your wife, and then I'm still stuck at the part where you said she smiles and then they sign.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true. Next time I'll just bring my wife on. I don't even need to be here. Let's send her a link to jump on the.
Doing that right now.
Listen, there's a few things that have been working for me, and I find that when I go into the listing presentation, you got to put stuff in their hands. They have to hold it. They have to text it. They got to feel what it's like. Okay, bye. Okay, I'll just. Okay, I'm being laughed at, and you're just leaving in the middle of a conversation. Okay, so anyway, what I've been doing, I've been putting things in their hands. I've been putting postcards in their hands, just listed cards in their hands. I've been dialing up single property websites on my phone so they can see what it feels like to be a buyer looking and coming across my ad. I've been showing them what it's like to be someone that comes in contact with marketing for their house, and it's been really paying off for me. They've been really impressed by that. So if you can have something tangible for them while you're in the appointment, I feel that's always a benefit. So they kind of know what it's like to be someone that inquires about their home.
That's a great tip, Nick, and I think handing it to them is very important too, because 9/10 of the law is possession, right? So I mean, if they're taking the listing agreement, psychologically, you're getting them one step closer to signing their name on the listing agreement as well. So the more you could hand them, and the more that they'll take, the more you're getting them to go on your side. Is my opinion.
Hey, look who's back.
Sorry, I had to charge it, or else we would cut off everything.
Oh, your computer?
Yeah, I just had to go get the charger. All right. So one thing that's been done for a long time, and I think continues to bring a lot of business that I'm focusing on more, thanks to Borino, are expireds.
There you go.
I used to be. I'm sorry?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So expireds are great, and there's a lot of places to get expireds from. We've got Espresso, Vulcan 7, Land Voice, Red X, and any other ones that I missed? I know I missed like a couple more.
But I'm a big fan of Espresso Agent, and that one's always working. You like Vulcan?
Yeah, it integrates with Team Leads really well.
That's
and
true.
So anytime I connect with somebody, I just press create a lead over to my database, and then I can follow up easier. So it makes it a lot easier for me. Like, I think the most important thing about expireds and for sale by owners, if you're going to call them, make sure that you just set a time to call them every day, weekday or weekend. Set an hour, set 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Just make sure that you set that time to do it. I find that if I'm one of the first people to call, this is for new expireds, the people are less angry, so they want to talk to me a little bit. Every time I start, yeah. Well, every time I start a little bit later, people are just angrier and they hang up on me. But if I'm one of the first few, they usually talk to me a little bit longer. I mean, this morning when I was talking and I was calling people at 7:45 a.m., the second person I called, she talked to me for 20 minutes. And so now I'm going to nurture her.
Okay. Hey, so what's your thought on old expireds?
Old expireds, I think, are even better than new expireds.
Totally, I agree with you on that.
I think you have to come in with a mindset. If you're going to call old expireds, new expireds, here's the mindset. It's a relationship business. It's not a one-night stand, right? It applies to every single lead. When you call up, yeah, you want the appointment, but you're not going to force the appointment on them. You've got to nurture these people. Sometimes they need to be called 7, 8, 10 times throughout 2 months, a month. People. And that's the mindset you have to come into when calling expireds.
Totally. They've had a bad experience, and why should they pick you?
Yeah. I got a follow-up question for Nick and Tristan, either one of you guys, in regards to a post that I saw yesterday. It's getting a lot of traction in regards to marketing and focusing on expireds, and that is sending blind expired listing packages. Where the guy sent out 18 expired listing packages, supposedly got 3 people to follow back up with him, actually got 1 listing appointment without a call. So, Tristan, Nick, I mean, what are your thoughts? Have you tested that?
I have.
Expired packages without the call and then following up afterwards?
I've tested it, and I find that my money is better spent if I'm going to send a packet. It's going to be to somebody I've talked to, because I don't know if, like, for instance, I dialed 320 calls this morning, and I only reached a handful of people. But one of those people I talked to in Malibu had their home listed for $6 million, and it doesn't show active anywhere. I talked to her for 5 minutes. She said she relisted with somebody already. So, I mean, I'm not going to waste my money sending out packets to people that I've already relisted. If I talk to them, right? I mean,
the fact that, 18 is not very many, right?
No.
So,
but look, he's sending them out by overnight. He's overnighting them. So it's like a weekly delivery.
That's the only way to do it. And really the only way to do it is to check to see what properties are expiring the next day, so they actually get the packet on the day that it expired, not the next day.
Well, see, in our area, we're not able to do that. I mean, David, are you able to do that on your MLS? They took that away from us like 4 years back.
What, as far as when? No, I can't see when a property is expiring. No.
Oh, on the MLS, it tells us when the listing is up.
Not in California anymore.
Oh man! Oh my gosh, that would help so much.
Yeah, we have it back. It's just not anymore.
Yeah. Well, so the thing with that is, like, it's all a numbers game, right? Like, if you send something in the mail, and a lot of times with these homes, there's no way, you don't even know if the person's there. You don't know if they're living there. You don't know if they moved out. So that mail could be sent to an address where there's no one actually physically there. So, the fact that, you can get 1 appointment from that, I don't think that would happen every time. I think it would really be hit or miss. And so, it worked that one time, so that's great, but I don't think it could be a practical business model in the long run.
Yeah, I don't think so. I just don't think.
Think about it. If you do that every day, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, what's the return on investment on that? That's not high. On the other hand, if you're able to talk to somebody and their home expired, and you're able to talk to somebody and they say, yeah, you know what, we're going to list in 2 months. We're just going to take some time off. Or if they say, you know what, we're just going to back off. We're not going to list. and then you send them something and you put them on a drip with sending them things to their home, then that's a big difference. They haven't really.
Yeah, I mean, direct mail obviously can be very effective. I just think that you need to be smart about how much money you're spending. And so in my town, I could actually save that money and spend an hour just driving around and dropping them off in at their door physically. And obviously I can't leave it there. Obviously you can't leave it there because that's not legal to just leave it in their mailbox. But, go, after work, 6 o'clock, and, hope that they're home and say, I noticed your home just expired. No pressure. I just wanted to leave this with you to show you what my team can do for you. And if you feel like reaching back out tomorrow or the next day, I'm happy to talk to you. And then just call it a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you could even put them in a FedEx envelope, even if you drop it off. I mean, it's still going to get your point across that it's an overnight important document.
Well, the reason why we were saying that, like, it may not work with overnight, though, is because what if that person's not living at that property anymore? Like, a lot of these vacant homes, a lot of these expired homes, they can be vacant. So you just want to make sure that it's getting to the person. But, look, it depends on the situation, I think. But you want to be smart with your money. That's all.
Yeah, I was thinking of putting myself in a cake and then popping out of the cake in front of their home, but then I thought it.
I would call to get a restraining order if that happened.
I've had that, so it's a joke.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of cake.
Yeah, but chocolate.
Is it red velvet?
Chocolate.
If it was red velvet, I'd hire you.
There you go. See, I knew it would work with some people.
Hey, there's people talking here. We're not even red.
Wait, I'm looking at the.
Josh says to mail lumpy things. Mail something lumpy. Because then they open it and it's like in there and they want to.
David, anything you want to add? Any new things that you're doing or old things that you're doing that are going to work for you this year that worked last year?
Couple things I'm focusing on. Obviously, my nonprofit affiliations and working with animal shelters, good causes here locally. I'm starting something here locally with my son's school where I'm participating, offering a program. Any parents or teachers that want to buy a home, I'll donate a significant percentage back to the school or to the parish if they want. So I put together a nice landing page that I'm going to be launching very soon to kind of focus on that specific niche. And then obviously luxury auctions are taking off like crazy. In San Diego alone, there are about 15 homes that sold for auction last month. We have Takaro Auctions has a $12 million plus listing in Laguna Beach that we're going to be auctioning off next month as well. And up and down the coast, from the West Coast to East Coast, I think you're going to see more and more luxury auctions for non-distressed estate properties. They don't have to be, there are plenty of distressed properties out there, but when it comes to luxury, non-distressed auctions, I think you're going to start to see a huge trend in that market, especially in Malibu, San Diego, New York, New Jersey, Miami. So I think you're going to see more and more news come out. In San Diego, I think there's a news article coming out every week talking about a new auction that's going to be coming up very soon.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that a little bit more. That's awesome, man. How about you, Nick? Anything that you're focusing on this year or not focusing on that didn't work last year?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to start focusing a lot more on my sphere of influence. I've actually, to be honest with you, I've slacked off on keeping in touch with past clients and friends and family about real estate, and it's nobody's fault but my own. But 2017 is going to be the year that I, start reaching back out to them and being consistent with staying top of mind with the people that are closest to me. And that's why, that's why I was saying before that I'm really going to make referrals a top priority.
Dude, you should, that's where you should add a send out card campaign to your past clients where they're getting one card every 3 months.
We're also going to have a client appreciation party sometime in the first quarter, probably around April. We're gonna have a client appreciation party in the spring. So I'll start revving up the contact with past clients to lead up to that party, and then keep it going from there.
Are you going to take my cake idea for that?
What?
Are you going to take my cake idea?
Yes.
I said, are you going to take my cake?
I'm going to hire you. I'm going to hire you. So now that I've gone out on my own, you know, and branched off from my mother's team, and we have a team of 4, we have some pretty lofty goals. So we we have lofty commitments.
Oh, nice.
Because goals don't, right? It's all about commitment, right, Tristan?
It's all about commitment, buddy. That's it.
You're popular today. I'm just going to go like this and pretend people are saying hello to me. Hey. Oh, what? Hey.
Hey.
Call me. What's up?
Actually empty. Nobody's here. I just do that for fun.
Yeah, you're like, so, hey, call me. Nobody's there. Nobody's at my office is dark today.
All right, so here's one question we always get asked, guys. Not the CRM question, but here's another question. What can I focus on to get me immediate business? And I always go back to the same thing. You know, the people that know you are the people that are going to use you. So I think focus on your sphere, like Nick said. Focus on your past clients, if you have past clients, and focus on your friends. I think those are the best places to start. So that should be a large portion of where your business should be. I know a lot of people that just focus on that and do quite well. They don't buy any leads. They don't cold call. They don't door knock. They don't do open houses. They just focus on their sphere and past clients.
Like Gail.
Yeah, Gail rocks it with that. I agree. So one thing I'm going to try this year that I didn't do too much of last year are lead ads from Facebook.
Oh,
we kind of
get into some lead ads too.
Yeah, we touched on it. We touched on it a little bit, right?
What?
Thanks for letting me in over the weekend.
Stop saying hello to people. Stop saying hello to people. Nobody's there, Tristan. It's all in here. No one's there. No one's really there.
So for those,
I'm gonna watch Travis's webinar on lead ads.
What lead ads are? Can one of you two explain what lead ads are on Facebook?
David's good at that.
David, you have a short explanation as to what that is, so people can understand it.
Yeah, I guess
lead ads are Facebook's landing pages, and they're pre-populated with the information that person has on their Facebook profile: email, name, phone number. So they just kind of click, and you get all. I heard that. Who is it that ran a lead ads recently? Juan did an A/B test, right?
Yeah, Juan tested it out with easy lead pages. He ran it for 1 day, and he had 23 leads.
And they were full.
And they were full leads because Facebook has all that information already. They have
the
phone number, email. So that's what I'm going to focus on a little bit more. We did last year, guys. I know we tried a few. Well, we were A/B testing with landing pages versus lead ads, and now lead ads. Facebook has definitely stepped up their game and made lead ads a lot better than last year, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna start testing it out immediately for sure.
Yeah, anything you want to add to that, David?
You know, I think Nick nailed it. You know, lead ads are basically landing page killers. There's no need to create a landing page or to have a slow loading web page. You know, lead forms is a great way to collect that bona fide real information without, you know, sending them off to a landing page. And, you know, half the time they put in a bogus email. At least with lead forms, you're going to get, you know, 100% validated email.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. All right, guys, one last thing that you guys want to do before we wrap up. What do you guys want to really focus on this year that's going to take your business to the next level? One thing. Nick, you first.
I think I told you like 4 times.
Come on, something new, man. We're going to wrap it up now. And do not take my cake idea. That's mine.
Listen, I'm not going to take it. Don't worry. Consistency and time management. Those are the 2 things I really need to work on.
Consistency. Well, what do you mean by consistency? Like consistency doing what? Yeah.
So if I'm going to succeed in these videos, in keeping with my sphere, and you know, just being involving myself in the community, I'm going to need to do those things regularly. Like obviously those things don't don't need to be done every single day, but at least multiple times a week, calling, texting, emailing, stopping by, send out cards, just being always front and center with my past clients and sphere of influence. And I've slacked off on that. If I pick Tuesdays and Fridays, those are the days I text, email, or call past clients in the sphere. Those are the days I gotta stick to it. Set the time frame. Nothing else gets scheduled in those hours except for that. That's what I have issue with and needs to focus more on.
With your sphere and past clients, one thing that helps me with that, sometimes, we time, and then, we're at a showing or we're at a listing appointment and we run out of time. For those times, I think the mass text to past clients for the holiday, like you said, you were the one who told me, hey, for all the texts that are going through, make sure you do Happy New Year, right? Don't forget on that. And even if you're just getting people returning to your website, do Happy New Year to it. So
yeah, for sure.
Holidays is really important just by text if you can't do anything else. How about you, David?
I mentioned earlier about being self-aware, obviously trying to see what I'm doing before I make final decisions and how I come up with those decisions. And two, obviously, buy this book, the one, Gary Keller and Jay Papasan's book. Great book. I've been reading it for the past week. One of the things I'm going to take away from it is page 43, chapter number 5, multitasking. It says to do two things at once is to do neither. So I think really focusing and prioritizing and staying focused on that one thing you need to get done versus spreading yourself too thin. I have a big problem saying no. And so I think for 2017, I'm going to be saying a lot more no's this year. All
right, dude. I like that. That's a great thing. I think
come over and cook me some pie.
Come over and jump in my cake.
That was the first chance for you to say no.
It's easy to say no to that one.
You don't know what kind of pie I was going to make you.
Oh, so you said yeah. You can't say yes yet.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. For me, it's just being more committed to the goals that I set. I think before I met Jim, I was just setting goals, and I mean we were accomplishing them. That's for sure. But the commitment to the longevity of the goals wasn't always there. And I think it was apparent to me yesterday when I was sitting with my kids over what our goals were and what our commitments were. And I asked my daughter, do you know the difference? She's like, yeah, I do. And she told me what it was. I was like, oh yeah, that is the difference. She understands. So this year I'm fewer things because I want to accomplish those fewer things. So I think commitment is the key. All right, guys, anything you guys want to wrap up with?
I gotta go because I'm writing an offer.
All right, have fun. How about you, Dave?
Happy New Year to everyone. It's going to be a great 2017 for LCA, so stay tuned.
Great. Nick?
I was just reading some of the comments, see if we missed anything.
I don't think we missed anything. You missed my pirate hat.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
See you, everybody.
Nice talk.